Hello everyone and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. Today we're playing a daily race around Deep Forest Raceway in Group 4 cars, GT4 cars. I'm in the Alfa Romeo 155. I only had time for one race, so I'm going to show you, to make the video a little bit longer, just show you the time trial that I did. We see that number one time in the world is a 1 minute 30.7 in a Huracan there, Lamborghini Huracan. So we will see where we come with regards to that. Now, just skip ahead of that first loading in there. You see I messed up relatively early, kind of just gave up, just cut through there, and I got a penalty, so I decided to just reset. So, here we go, reset at the time. We have 7 minutes until the match starts, so 7 minutes to try get a decent-ish lap time. That is the main goal. So I didn't have much time to practice, as you can see, and this was on the Saturday of the week, so everyone had already had about 5 days worth of practicing, trying to get their laps down. So I only had 7 minutes compared to everyone's 5 days, so I wasn't expecting it to be good, and I hadn't been playing much Gran Turismo recently, so yeah, I wasn't expecting to be anywhere near close to the number one time, but I always like having a quick look, or nosy I guess, to see what that time is. So far already over 30 seconds in, so we got about a minute left to go of this. I'm going to say first proper attempt. Broke quite late there, meaning we lost a bit of time. I took the corner wide, but we're still on the track, not taking any penalties, so we're going to keep on going. Trying to remember how you usually race on this track, sort of lines and you take, and where to brake, where you can start accelerating fully. But just in the end, just trying to play safe. So I messed up that corner a bit there, which is going to sacrifice a bit of time coming onto the straight here. So we're already 5 seconds now past, or behind should I say, the number one time. Well, just under 5 seconds, 4.3 it is, I think. So yeah, not great. No, 4.7 seconds behind the number one time in the world. So we're going to see if we can improve, hopefully get to at least a 1:33, so you can shave off about a second and a half or two, just to see what we can do. We're currently about 400ths of a second ahead of our previous time. Just dropping down. So we broke pretty good there, didn't go flying by, so we're now 7/10 of a second. We're just gaining quite a bit of time. We really tried to floor it through that corner, had to come off, almost went over. I was just trying to push the limit, see where I could go, lost a pretty big chunk of time there, and we're now about half a second just over that, 7/10 ahead. But we are slowly making progress compared to that other time. If we can keep this, we will be sub 1:35, which is good. Try get a slight better run here. He does catch up on the bottom right of the radar, you can see the previous time, but then I was hoping to get a better acceleration, but I didn't commit that well to the accelerator, so I didn't. So we ended up getting a 0.680 seconds faster lap time. Hit the wall, slowed me down quite a bit there, and we're now 0.2 behind my previous time. So I decided to just start playing a bit risky. We've only got 3 minutes, see how it goes. Broke a little bit later and then did a bit of a cutback, and that seems to have helped gain a lot of time. So I'm still behind him, but I'm gaining quite a bit of space on my previous time. I don't know why I keep talking like it to another racer. It's just literally the last lap I did. Trying to brake on target again, but a little bit better. Clearly not as good, as we are losing a bit of time, but I've learnt my lesson to cut in a bit tighter here to be able to carry the speed, and we are now gained about 0.3 of a second there, gone up to 0.4. We've lost quite a bit of time because we went wide, but we're still ahead of ourselves, which is good. We are on pace to get another faster lap. So far we've improved every lap, which is good. It's what you kind of want. About 0.2 ahead. We get a bit of a better run here, so we're now 0.3 ahead of our previous time, and that is 3.372 seconds ahead. So we're now 1:34.355 is our best lap time. We have time for one more lap, so this is a sort of do or die situation on will we get a sub 1:34, will we get a 1:33. Trying to get a bit of a good go here, didn't get a good run, and we are getting overtaken. So not great so far, gonna be honest. So we're gonna try and see if we can we've got to overtake ourselves here and then beat our previous time by a minimum of 0.356 seconds to get into the 1:33s. So we're now 0.2 up, just keeps going up and down, so it's not impossible, but it will be a little bit more challenging. Have to race a bit better. We are getting used to the track. See, we went wide down the last lap, so we stuck to the proper line, and we're now just under we are 0.3 ahead, and if we are now 0.4 ahead, so if we can keep this distance, we will end up getting a sub 1:33, which isn't great time, but it's going to be much better than what we've got right now. So we're now 0.5 half a second, 0.4 of a second, losing it a little bit now. We only just managed to get a sub 1:33 there, sub 1 minute 33.989. We end up getting loaded in. We're in 11th place, not great. First there, having a 1:32.332. We'll see what we do. We have another Alfa Romeo there, 155. He didn't get a lap time, so he's behind us. So we'll see how we do. That is going to be, as long as we can beat the other Alfa, I'll feel happy. That was my sort of hope going into this. Making sure traction control's low. It's only 6 laps. You're not going to have to worry about tyres or fuel. It's just a quick lap race. See how well you can go. So I was kind of expecting to be quite low down the grid anyway, so it's not a big surprise. But we know the Alfa from previous races has got such good acceleration that we are instantly catching up to the Lamborghini ahead of us, which means we are leaving the person behind us in 12th behind, now 0.7 of a second ahead of 12th. So just trying to stick behind him. He seemed to have lost some speed somehow. I don't know what happened, but I backed off, didn't want to hit into anyone, tried to avoid any collisions, as we saw just happened there. But that was all for nothing, as someone behind decided to have a collision with us. So now down into 14th. We are now behind the other Alfa Romeo. Not really great for the first true braking corner of the track, so it's kind of just claw back what we can. The guy that knocked us at the bottom left there, just putting Chatley's showing, so it's all good. He didn't mean to, which makes it a lot more, it's still annoying, but it's a lot more nicer to know that he wasn't just trying to ruin your race. It was just probably him missing the braking knob. So now trying to get up on the inside of the Huracan for this, the Lamborghini Huracan there. Couldn't quite stick to it, decided to back out, didn't want to have a big old crash. Just stay behind him for now. So we still got quite a close knit pack. I've now got a half-second penalty for ignoring the track limit. I don't know where or how I was within the track limit all the time, I feel like, but we've now got to pay that on the big long straight, which is not going to be helpful for the 155. It's not the biggest it's not the best with the top speed. I just go into the chat to say no worries to the guy that crashed us off. The AI for some reason takes us so much to the right, which isn't great for this corner, so we have to move, which does lose us a little bit of speed. So we are 2.5 seconds ahead of 15th, and about a second behind 13th here. We're going to be quite a bit further with this half a second penalty. Big crash happening there with the 155 and the Genesis. Somehow the Genesis managing to get back on the track quite quickly. We took a half a second penalty, and the 155 there getting a 3-second penalty, Lordy. So don't quite know how that happened, but we don't have the replay. I forgot to save it, so I can't really go back and check. I will say that, but we are still in 14th. But we know that we'll be able to probably get a position from Lordy here and hopefully catch up as the Genesis hits the wall again, slowing him down, and we take 13th position. When it crashed the wall there, because I was trying to get the position, not take out the other 155. Thankfully we did that. Quite a sort of tight little racetrack part here, and everyone's managing to come out relatively okay. As we come round to the last corner, big braking point, see who can get the better run out of all of us with this, and then use the slipstream to help it. We seem to catch up to Lordy here quite well, and we've got his slipstream, so it's going to help us coming up around this straight and around the corner. See what we can do. I'm going to go for the move because I don't want to really be stuck behind him. He's already been involved in a crash, so have I, to be fair, but I don't really want to risk him braking early or something to make sure he's not involved in a crash, because then otherwise I'll bump him and get the penalty. Lordy is still clear behind us, but he's taking his penalty now. The Lamborghini up ahead has now got a half second penalty, so we've got a bit of clean air behind us. We can relax as we now are hunting down 11th position. We are still currently minus position from where we started. We started in 11th, and we are almost halfway through the race now. Actually, yeah, we're about halfway through the race right now, as we've only just gotten 11th, as the Ferrari seems to have crashed into the sidewall. So we haven't moved really in positions now, kind of just back where we started. Hurricane there having a bit of trouble around that corner. We managed to gain a little bit more time on him. Trying to take a bit of different lines. Sometimes you can floor it through that corner, but I don't always feel super confident when there's a car in front of me, just because I don't want to risk hitting them like that. He broke a bit early, we came flying up. I think we gave him, it might have been a little tap on the back there, but it didn't ruin any of our races. I'm actually get a good little exit of the corner there, forgot what the word was, and we're now side by side with the Lamborghini, but he's got that top speed, so he just starts pulling away again. I'm not too fussed about fighting because he's got a half a second penalty which he's going to have to pay, and then once he gets back up to speed it'll be more about 7 or 8 tenths it's cost him. Almost took him out there. He broke a little bit earlier than I thought, and I think I broke a bit later, but thankfully we didn't. He pays his half a second penalty and we managed to move on by, now into single digits, 9th place, which now means we're hunting down 8th, who is 2.1 seconds ahead of us. So that is the goal, is to try catch up to 8th. Managed to well, we did a good corner there, but there's been a bit of a crash or something, as the person who was in 8th is now up to 7th, and over this Lamborghini driver here, I'm just going to call him Pep right now, seemed to have a bit of a crash, and we're now half a second behind him. So 8th all of a sudden seems to be relatively realistic with about 2 laps to go. Well, 2 laps in one corner, that is. So I'm going to try get him, maybe get to 7th, we'll see how we're doing. We're currently 1.3 seconds slower than the fastest lap so far. That's our best lap compared to that one. So we're going to see if we can start improving on that. Slipstream helping us a lot, catch up to the Lamborghini here. I'm just going to stick with the outside line bit, just to help slow myself down so I don't hit into him or have to go for an overtake and make it risky for both of us. He seems to have lost control. I don't think I bumped him at all. The game didn't give me a penalty, and if I did touch him, it would have definitely just thought that was me. So yeah, I'm going to just assume that wasn't any contact, because usually the game would literally just penalise you for that. Anyway, moving on. We're now 1.8 seconds behind 7th, but 7th and 6th there fighting a bit, so we managed to gaining a bit of time on them already. Of course, when you fight, you take different lines. You're going to be slower. It's just, you're going to lose the pack in front of you, and the pack behind you are going to catch you up. So the goal is to just catch up to 7th position and get further away from 9th position, and make the number between myself and 7th smaller than the number between myself and 9th, which we now managed to do. So it's just trying to get a good line here. We end up drifting around a bit, or getting the back end out, managing to catch it and not actually lose too much speed. We're actually gaining on him after that corner. So that was quite surprising. I'm not sure what happened there. I didn't even go wide, I just kind of kept with the line relatively well. So I'm not going to complain about that. We are 1.3 seconds behind 7th here. So my hope is that 7th and 6th start fighting. This is the final lap, and I can get 1 or 2 positions from it. The Lamborghini messed up a bit there, so the Skyline's caught right up to him now, and they're definitely going to be fighting because the Skyline's got a slipstream. So I'm just going to try stay relatively close to the point where I can take advantage, but hopefully not get involved in any carnage that I feel like could happen, especially with the Skyline going around the outside, trying to get a move like that, trying to tuck on the inside, couldn't get a cut back, using the full width of the road there, in a bit of dirt, picked up. He seemed to hit the barrier there. I'm not sure if that was just a visual glitch for me, but he's really trying. You see the back end's getting out a bit there. We're managing to catch up because of it, but he's seeming to struggle. Thankfully, because of all that, we are able to catch up a bit. We threw it all the way through there. Don't even let off the accelerator. Managed to keep on going. We're now really close behind them, trying to get a good run. We do get a relatively good one. We are gaining time on them, but it's not enough, and we have to settle for a measly 8th position, which isn't great, but we'll take it. That was all I could do. That's all I had time for. So 11th to 8th after being taken out is fine. I enjoyed it. But thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.